Hello YouTube and welcome to episodes 9 and 10 in my Frieren Beyond Journey's End reaction series. Back here again today for some more Frieren. It's a double episode time because that's what's been told to me is this is kind of an arc that will finish by the end of this 10th episode. Probably centering around Aura. You would think that would happen, right? So yeah, excited to jump into that today and see, I guess, the conclusion here. I've got some broad theories about how we're going to go down before we go back up though. We'll talk about it. I've got the YouTube comments up here, if I can get them up. There we go. And yeah, I've got about 6 to go through here, so it should be a good time starting here with Airwave 2K2. I actually haven't seen Starship Troopers, so I've got no reference for the "Do you want to know more" line. Yeah, I don't. Sorry. But then we go into Drath, right? And yeah, he was kind of right in that Frieren couldn't cut the wire specifically. But the difference there is that Frieren is a demon murdering machine, and she has more than one way of fighting somebody that is like direct conflict. She can be a little bit sneaky sometimes and use everything in an arsenal to make things happen. So yeah, that was kind of a neat encounter, kind of foreshadowing the end of the episode where it's like, oh yeah, Frieren the Slayer, and we do all that kind of stuff. For Demon Society, you will get an explanation soon. Also dropped by accident, a character's name coming around way down the line when comparing Demon's individualistic, and solitary nature to the cooperative humans. I had a chuckle after hearing the word. I do not know. I do not know what's going on there, but I'll bear with you. Please remind me if and when this happens in Season 2. I thought this paragraph was quite interesting as well, kind of going into some theories about how much does Granite actually know. Airwave 2K2 believes that Granite knew that the demons weren't being legit basically the entire time and kind of went on with it as a way to bring them to his domain where he would have a little bit of an advantage, but eventually fell for the lie because Lugner is German for liar, so that's kind of funny. And yeah, he made up that lie on the fly, and that made him have a bit of a change of heart when in actuality it was meant to be an assassination mission, like they were just going to kill them. It also adds to the idea that Granite wouldn't be that judgy of Frieren, right? Because in the end, he does still know that these demons are evil. And yeah, he puts 2 and 2 together, sees that guard dead, thinks about if Frieren would do that after not killing the guards, and then we go off of that. So yeah, there may be a little bit more going on behind the scenes than we've seen so far. This got time-coded twice in these comment sections. It's basically me saying, I hope Aura sticks around, and then giving him one of these. I think that indicates that she's not going to stick around, guys. I don't know if that's going to be a massive spoiler for anybody, but yeah, I expect that we will conclude whatever conflict this is in a pretty good time here. Apparently, if I like evil smiles, there are more evil smiles to come. So looking forward to that, I guess. That's good too. And then, yeah, so this goes into the translation of Soso no Frieren, right, from the Japanese title, right, instead of Beyond Journey's End, which I think we're translating it in the English for now. And I think Sal does the best job explaining this here, so we're going to go and try and do that. Soso no Frieren translated as Frieren the Slayer. Although the accurate meaning of Soso is more funeral related, a couple of translations for Soso are attending a funeral procession, seeing off the deceased, burial of someone's remains, observing a burial, funeral journey, funeral march, or dirge, elegy, threnody? I don't know what that last word means, but sure. And each of the 2 kanji have different meanings. Internment, bury, shelve, and escort, send. So, if we're taking bury and send and then translating that as slayer, that kind of fits a little bit more. So it's a little bit of a red herring, right? The whole funeral thing, right? Because you think, oh shit, she's at this funeral for Himmel, and she's seeing off, and that made my mind kind of wander. I was like, shit, is there going to be more funerals? If it's in the title, then that kind of indicates some stuff to me. In actuality, she has been to a lot of funerals, those funerals that she was responsible for in killing all of the freaking demons. So yeah, it's kind of a badass title. I really like that. Yeah, Airwave back here saying Frieren the Undertaker probably is a better in-between between the two as well, which I like. Beatrice Oliveira, next comment here. Humanity here is an umbrella term for elves, dwarves, and everybody else that isn't a demon. Fair enough. And I like how you can apply new information that we get in old episodes to new episodes, or new episodes to old episodes, and vice versa, right? So that battle against Qual in episode 3, I remember thinking, how come this idiot doesn't have protection against his own spell? Well, now we learned that Frieren modified this spell that was originally for killing humans from demons She's modified that to specifically kill demons. It's like Demon Bane. So yeah, just kind of connecting the dots there and making it all feel very whole. Apparently the idea of Lugna thinking Frieren is one of the geniuses that he despises is an idea that will come back very soon. So looking forward to that as well. Next up we have ICP, who says Wowza, which is a terrible, terrible meme. I hate the Wowza meme. I hate the Katanagatari Wowza meme. I do not like it. But it goes on for an actual comment here, and this is an interesting one. I could use some confirmation on this. I'm guessing I'll get it through the rest of the show, maybe, but I don't know if I misunderstood this, but I think Lugna saying that demons focus on one kind of magic, he doesn't mean they specialize in a single spell, but instead the killing magic as a whole. He's saying that while humans need magic for practical use, demons only need it in order to kill humans. This might also be me understanding it wrong. Yeah, I don't really know. I liked my stuff last week around individualism versus community and collaboration, and the advantages and disadvantages there, and how group kind of knowledge has been accumulated and used and spread out and made humans better over the course of time. Would that make sense with just killing magic or just individual spells, or humanity's sorcerers being more well-rounded? I do not know. I think either way it kind of works, but I do like the individual spell one. And I guess so far we've only really seen Drat use the wire thing, but he's dead, and Lugna use the blood stuff. We saw Linny maybe do like a couple of things, so that could be an indicator, because she has like a thing that she throws, but she can also detect magic. So is that 2 spells? I'm unsure. And last comment here from Cerberus. Same time code, I see your type here. Yes, it's true, I do like very over-the-top demon designs. Anyway, sure. By the way, next episode, Demon I Fave, is Linny. My fave design and awesome fighting style. So Linny gets to pop off next episode, which I'm pretty sure was foreshadowed with an incoming fight against Stark. I think that's what's going to happen. And yeah, I think I'm going to jump into that very shortly. But not without some chill stuff, I guess. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord, love Discord, 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 Discord. And yeah, jumping into episode 9 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End right now. I have a very bright episode 9 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End up there ready to go. 24 minutes and 30 seconds on this one, so please sync up accordingly. As always, there'll be a picture-in-picture version, and I'm using the subs please version, so it should be pretty similar to what else is on the market. And yeah, just going to give this a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Radio? 3, 2, 1, go. Indeed. So yeah, I meant to talk about this in the intro a little bit more, but I think that this episode's going to go broadly poorly. Like, I think Frieren is going to lose for some reason. Oh, another detail that I think somebody said on Discord or somewhere else, or maybe I missed it in the comments just there before, but the army behind her is, like, got the same armor as the dudes from the town. You know what I mean? So the guards have been killed, and then their corpses have been revived. And I think that's kind of her deal, that she's got this army of the guards. But yeah, I think Frieren may lose. I think things may seem bad there. There may be some kind of light on the horizon as we head into 10. But yeah, I expect this to go poorly. Is I guess my point. Oh, another thing, we haven't got a lot of flashback stuff in this segment yet. It'd be a great time to do that with kind of actually coming back up against Aura, who was actually present during those events, so you can literally flash back and both of them can talk about what happened. That's something you could do as well. But yeah, just kind of abandoning that structure that the rest of the story has had up to now. So yeah, we'll see if it continues here. Oh yeah, she's cool. I remember too. Frieren. That's a lot of dudes. Hey, look, he said the name. I actually got it this time. Indeed. Maybe I was wrong with the guards. I was looking at the armor there. It didn't seem quite right. Anyway, I do not know. Alright, at least he's bandaged up. He was injured, like, pretty bad. No. Lie down. Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah, he should have led with that. Indeed, about 80 years ago. Yeah, grandfather. Gotcha. Aura. Oh, the voice. I love it. Look at this stupid shit. Yeah, I think that's the guard's armor, maybe. Anyway. Okay, yep, just animate the shit out of it. Cool. Teleports next to you. Alright, you gonna start slaying soon, or? I have the scale to dictate that. It's leaning down on one side. Must be a lot of work. Oh my god. You're talking mad shit for somebody that lost last time. Yeah, what was that jewelry? That's what she was focusing on. Huh? Others. Well, okay. Is Frieren going to turn into a puppet? She's got a lot of mana, I know that. Have more mana? Who are we going to troll into her, like, getting tricked into... Anyway. Not really. Oh, that's cool too. Okay, that gives Stark an out. Of course, the necklace that he's wearing too, that's probably... Anyway, we'll talk about it. I'll figure it all out. Okay. What does that do? Oh, so change my ways? Okay. Okay. Alright, and then they're gonna leave it. Gotcha. It's really well animated. Why? You guys kind of just ran away as well. But anyway. Yeah, remember my whole thing about insurmountable odds and fear? We're going to continue to execute on that. No. You're not strong enough to solo everybody. Okay. Funny joke. It's not what I expected. Good comedy. What if we both just go and kill? I don't know, we're a pretty good team. Like, Fern's pretty good. Yeah, there's that necklace that was on that night, right? We'll check it. I mean, it's not good. I don't know. It's a tracking. I now remember the tracking, right? Of course. Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty bad. They're really animating the fuck out of this, huh? She's cool. Shut up, bitch. What's the plan here? Yeah. Dozo. He's pretty strong. I wonder what his name means. Out there somewhere. Use the Force. He's monologuing. Get him. Well, yeah. Okay. What am I looking at? You seem pretty good. I don't know. Few people? Oh. Well, that too. Did they just murder a field full of cows? What happened here? There you go. Quick draw. So have I. Yeah. Literally. Did we get him? Because she's very quick. I just saw a flashback that told me that. Yeah, we've just been standing here. Oh, no. Gotcha. It's been going poorly. I'm more interested about. Did he say she was using Aizen's technique? That's also really well animated. Holy fuck. Yeah, okay, they're not playing around at all. Oh, shit. Unfortunately, it may be peak. I regret to inform everybody that this is good. Ugh. That looked like a big, like, spider or something. It doesn't look like she's running out of mana, like, anytime soon. Just survive. Yeah, because he's stalling. He understands the game plan. Or he doesn't, which is also cool. Oh! You can't do that. Oh my god, he's dead. Yeah, that was the same technique that they did in Katanagatari this week, like stopping midair. Okay. So you can imitate techniques. Like you just changed weapon there. And now you change weapon again to probably a spear specialist, right? This is insanely impressively animated. Oh, cool. So is that like a latent technique that she even like knew it as a child? Yeah, I understand that. But you kind of did, from memory? Like, he was scared of you to the point where he punched in the head. He'll get up again. It's stuck. Oh, maybe not. I didn't see that much blood. Get up, my boy. I like how he looks younger there. It is not over until the fat lady sings. It's very important that you continue to delay. I'm back. It's not in my nature. I'm a warrior. They look pretty cool. I don't know if they're imitations. Yeah? Oh, cool. You're not strong enough, brother. Bro. Oh my god. I was gonna say Dex user using a strength weapon. How did you summon a lightning strike? Thoughts? What happened? Oh, that's an opening. What? Okay, I think they got murdered. That's definitely the heart gone. Alright, later. Very interesting that, like, getting distracted by Linny's, like, failure led to his death. What's that lightning strike? Thoughts? Thoughts? Anyway, divine intervention. Yeah, that didn't go the way I thought at all. That went pretty well. I was expecting the stinger at the end of this episode for us to maybe win that fight or be on a pretty good way to winning it, and then the stinger being like Frieren has been like taking control of or something. And this all comes back to that one scene. I believe it was a couple of episodes ago now. No, maybe one. Where Frieren like had that smile on her face as she kind of left them to deal with the two demons. Like, I'm gonna go solo the boss. You guys are definitely strong enough to defeat these two, and she was proven correct. She made a good guess. Specifically, fucking Fern just destroyed. She's so good. And Stark just fraud checked Linny, and it turns out she was a fraud. So, you know, when you get fraud checked, the truth will be revealed. It's a lot of words. Mm-hmm. And yeah, a little bit of analysis on episode 9. What is my review of this episode? It was a banger. I'm not sure there's any other word to describe it. In that it's fights. If you want to see fucking cool fights, watch this episode. Watch episode 9. It fucking rules. Yeah, you just see cool fights for like 20 minutes of this shit. Like where do we actually start here? Like here-ish? Yeah, for like this last 10 minutes, it's just insanely well animated fights. So if you want to see that for like 10 minutes, then, you know, the world's your freaking oyster, man. Like, you should do that. There's a few interesting tidbits. I'm interested in the jewelry story. You saw some jewelry and had some thoughts. There was also some other jewelry that a different armor was wearing that I think is associated with Graf Granite. I'm believing that maybe a family member, probably the son that died, maybe? Like, if that's a very recent thing, then yeah. So yeah, that's one thing to watch. These suits of armor are familiar. I thought that was a reference to the guards' armor being used. Maybe a few of them are guards' armor, but you seem to recognize some from an earlier story, from our little preview of the next episode at the end of the last episode. They seems to be going into like a little bit more of the flashback stuff and how the fight against Aura went back in the day. But I cannot deny that the star of this episode is definitely Fern. Fern and her cool animation through like here is absolutely the highlight of the episode. She just fucked shit up. Insanely impressive stuff. I think I've said in the past that this is like not quite Jujutsu Kaisen level. This is like better in some spots. It's more legible at least. Like this segment in particular was amazing. Amazing. So yeah, I mean there's a lot of well animated anime on the market. It's not to mention some of the stuff we've seen from One Piece on Twitter. That shit goes kind of stupid. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's an animation showcase episode in my opinion. We basically just defeat the dudes. There's some cool stuff about Aizen Stark. I liked that stuff. And I guess like the quick draw nature of Fern's spells. Other than that, not much content, but we're going to go through it regardless and see what we can see. We start the episode back at this church, kind of a safe house, right? And it's got its own special barrier preventing the demons from coming into this area, right? We can presume from this moment onwards that Graf Granite will be safe, which is cool. I like the bloke. He's probably going to have some words with Frieren at the very end of this arc, so that'll be interesting to look out for as well. But yeah, basically these two are going to be like, okay, well, what's the game plan now? That being Fern and Stark. First, we have Graf Granite basically pardoning Frieren, which was basically on the cards anyway because we know what he was thinking around that kind of stuff now. So sure. We learned that a lot of this could have been alleviated from Frieren letting people know her name. The elven mage who adventured with the hero way back in the day. This town basically gives its thanks to Frieren. It's, wouldn't be around if not for her and her efforts against Aura the Guillotine. Yeah, the town faced that same enemy, Aura the Guillotine, the same one we're facing now, and Frieren is still standing on business, like she should. They're very cordial to begin with. I'm in love with her voice. I just love this character archetype so much. It's so much fun, right? It's so very anime. Yeah, so they're basically picking things back up from where they left off, and I will go find a voice actor for you very shortly. It's all very cordial in the beginning. They're both trying to kind of out-sass each other, in kind of an intimidation tactic, I would say. Okay, chat room, it turns out that Aura the Guillotine is based. Guess who I see? Guess what this is? Oh, well, not specifically that. More specifically, like this one and the other one. This one. Yeah, it's Azusa. I can kind of hear it now, which is crazy. Also, Nino's not bad either. It's probably one of my favorite girls from Quintuplets, I think. So sure. What else we got here? I have not seen High School DxD. I'm probably not going to. Oh no, I'm not watching Ori anymore either. Actually, I've seen half the first season, which is a little bit of a self-report. Don't know what that is. I've seen all of Data Live. Fucking hell, this is just the expose me hour, and then yeah, not much else there. Okay, sure. This is Ayana Taketatsu. Sure. And seems very extremely talented. So thumbs up for getting a good VA for this character that I think's about to fucking perish. So sure. Yeah, this is the start of it. We see some pretty insane animation here, and Frieren teleporting beside herself to dodge this strike. But she is very slowly getting surrounded. So she can't dodge forever. She's not that way inclined, so this is pretty bad. She's in a bad spot. We do forget that she can fly, though. Demon magic must be unbelievably powerful to control this many puppets, because there is a ton of puppets around, more than there was previously, right? So her whole gimmick, and I'll explain it now, but even though it gets explained later, she has this scale, right? And if somebody tries to attack her, I think it does a check, right, essentially. If you have less mana than she does, then you will become subservient unless your will is strong enough to persevere through. So this has two outs, right? One, you can be absolute warrior lord and have the most resolve ever, see Stark, and be able to force your way through this. So I'm seeing that potentially on the cards. Or you can just absolutely mana check her, like Frieren could potentially do. Just say okay, try to control me. Shit, I have 27 trillion times the mana you do, so bye, I get to control you now, and then I probably just let you float into dust or whatever. Yeah, humanity's magic cannot hope to hit this level. This demon magic's too powerful, but it makes Frieren want to puke, right? It's literally just a skillless check. Maybe that's what she's getting at. But we'll probably see more next episode when the focus is a little bit more on Aura in particular, right? It's actually interesting that this episode is called Aura when I would say most of it is devoted to Lugna and Linny? Linny, I believe her name was. Alright, interesting content time, everybody. We see one insignia here with a cross and two wings. We see another one here with this one, right? This one in particular, right? Which we'll keep an eye on. And upon seeing these two sets of armor and those necklaces in particular, you decide that you need to kill her. So Aura places her own soul and that of her target on the scales, and weighs the magnitude of their mana against each other. The one with the greater mana gains control over the other, turning them into a puppet for all eternity until their body withers to dust. If a soul with greater mana than Aura were to be placed on the scales, then she would lose. Potentially this is what happened in the past. She tried to check Frieren and then that went poorly, and that's why she's not doing it again now. I do not know. But they say that hasn't happened once in the 500 years since Aura became a Sage of Destruction. I'm trying to piece together what happened for them to actually have defeated her then, because if that hasn't happened in 500 years, that cancels Frieren out. So that couldn't have happened, what I just said there before. So I'm thinking maybe what happened was she gained control of some of the people, and then Himmel had amazing, inner resolve and strength and stuff, right? Belief in himself and all that, and was able to force his way through the control and wound her, maybe. Hence why she, skedaddled for however many years until Himmel was dead, right? She, went into hiding, because Himmel is the one person that can actually defeat me. Something like that, right? Just more stuff here. This is the same necklace that Frieren saw on that one corpse. I believe it's the same necklace of the Granite family. And this is like the knight. I'm thinking Granite's son. And he's going to force his way through, but to no avail, basically. He still loses. Yeah, the strong-willed must have been a kind of obstacle for her. So anybody with a strong will in the show can be like overpowering to her. Frieren does something interesting here, right? Instead of using a spell to destroy the armors, she does spell to dispel the spell that's on them, right? Which takes considerable mana, right? It's letting her mana run low. But she doesn't want to destroy the sets of armor in the same way that she used to, maybe? Again, I'm thinking episode 10, when paired with this, will make a whole lot more sense. So she doesn't want to destroy the suits of armor. She probably still sees some semblance of a soul there and doesn't want to, just kill. She wants to maintain focus on the actual evil one here instead of the vestiges of the heroes that try to defeat her. Yeah, last time we fought, you blew them away with flashy spells left and right. What changed? Are you fundamentally different now than how you were 80 years ago? Was there some kind of personal experience that has informed this? We'll go into it, I'm sure, next episode. Himmel in particular scolding her after destroying the sets of armor. We're probably going to see this scene play out. I'm going to leave it until then. And then cleaning the armor with her sleeve. There's a lot going on, for sure. I think that's the last we see of Frieren. She basically turns her head to Aura and says, I'm going to murder you. I feel no bad things about killing demons anymore. Despite the initial fears from, Stark and Fern, I've been inherently proven correct. There's this really good animation of Stark putting on his coat as, he's going to make his way back out there. Oh, if, VLC wants to behave. But he's going to make his way back out there, right, and try to defeat these two, because they're not going to go quietly. They're probably going to start, attacking civilians if they're just left out there. But no, there's actually this funny joke where he looks like he's going to, put the world on his shoulders and take it all himself and tell Fern to go to the guard station and evacuate, and he's going to go to Frieren for help instead of, carrying the team, which was the broad setup before this point. Pretty good gag, caught me off guard, all that stuff. So yeah, they're gonna go, hey, let's go get Frieren. She would know what to do here, and those two demons could pretty easily defeat us. What they don't know at this point is there's blood on this coat, there's blood on his collar, there's blood on his sleeve. That's actually blood that has mana in it, and it's actually been used to track them in this entire time. And just the final confirmation, here's necklace. This is the Granite family necklace that was passed down and all that, so you can put two and two together, I'm sure. Fern realizes that the blood is an issue, and then very quickly takes off her coat. Look at that. Pretty cool too. And then, yeah, shit quickly hits the fan. They find them. It's animated very well. Look at that. It's fucking sick. And this is the line here. That was my master's technique. I'm pretty sure this was self-explanatory. I'm just like, oh, did she somehow copy Eisen? And that's the exact answer, right? I think we go into it a little bit too much, ooh, I was there when Eisen was there ages ago and then saw his technique and copied it. It's I don't really care. I don't care how you copied his technique. I care about the emotional weight of you copying his technique, right? Which is what we pay off on in the end. It's just, there's a bit of a roundabout way of getting there. This face on Fern's very interesting too. I'm just trying to conserve energy and stuff and look as weak as possible to get him to let his guard down. Kind of using his own pride against him, right? The fact that he is only ever looking to Frieren and trying to find out more new things about Frieren and stuff, right? Using that against him, getting him to lower his guard, and then, showing him up, basically. I don't think Fern dodged this, right? I think this is where he hit her because he didn't want to take her out because he wanted more information about Frieren. He was ahead of himself, right? He was too prideful in that regard. I think that's what we say later in the subbing, I think. So there's two questions. One, is Stark strong? Yeah, he's pretty strong. Well, he won't die an easy death at Linny's hands because he is strong. And then, where's Frieren? I'm more focused on Frieren than you. I didn't ask any questions about you. And we tell a little white lie here. She fled the town because he killed the guard. He doesn't know about the whole guard business and that Granite knew. So yeah, he basically just walks away now and starts monologuing to himself about where would she run off to? A powerful grudge against demons? So as Lugna figures out that Frieren must be after Aura, Fern has already got the staff in her hands and is making a move. And then we turn the tables, right? We've got essentially a gun to his back. Tell me where Frieren is. You must have figured out where it is she's going. And then you lied about failing to kill me. You actually wanted to take me in for questioning. Also, the prideful revenge for, the surprise factor from last episode. Like, I got one over on you because you got one over on me, which is very, very childish.
This is me editing the video, so I've seen episode 10, so I guess spoilers for 10. But it makes a whole lot of sense why Lugna would feel the way he does about somebody hiding their mana level as soon as we learn all that stuff about the demons in episode 10. And, like, her having perfect control over that, and Frieren teaching Fern to have perfect control over the mana level and hiding it and stuff. It just makes sense. It makes sense. It fits together really well, and I thought I'd shout it out.
And then we're at a bit of a standoff here. We have Lugna saying that he can lob her head off by the time she shoots, and then how quickly can Fern shoot? If only there was some kind of, flashback in which we learn how fast she can shoot. So Frieren here specifically says, you shoot faster than me, you've got an advantage on me when it comes to the speed. So Frieren has lived for longer, she's got an advantage when it comes to mana and technique because of this, and I often let Fern defeat the monsters instead of me, because battles end quicker when you fight, because you fire off spells faster than I do. Very cool, if only this had some kind of practical application in the real time. It does. Oh my god. And the idea of this scene here, I think, is that Lugna went to try to fucking lob her head off, but had to adjust, right? And put it in the way of his heart because he was going to die. She shot quicker. So yeah, and then the battle erupts from here and, the level of animation goes up. We go back down below and Linny's kind of destroyed Stark. It's going very, very differently. Look at that. He's down on his knees. Oh no, if only he will get back up again. He's like freaking Rocky, dude. You can't keep him down. Some more really good first-person stuff there, too. Like, look at this. That's fucking cool as shit. Yeah, and bro, just the fucking animation. Like, here on him getting up is insane. Like, the big swing back there, like, stumbling. And then this stuff from Linny. It just demonstrates the difference, right? One's full of effort, one's full of will, one's full of, like, want to get up and keep fighting. This other one is like it's like copying the technique, right? You can almost tell it's too perfect. There's not enough weight in it. You can see it. It's a weightless axe. Even though it has weight on the ground, you can tell. You can tell in the animation. It's very, very good. And yeah, if we're going to keep talking about good animation, we have to talk about this when they just like turn it up a fucking notch. Look how cool Fern looks. Holy shit. Yeah, this shit's fucking killer. The grace on this here specifically, right? And then this, where we go through the wall, and like this turn, amazing. He showed me his like full asshole. It was fucking cool as shit. I think specifically about these fights, the way you can tell how each person in the scene fights from their animation, right? They're not just doing the same thing back and forth with each other. There's tangible difference in the way they move, and I love that that's reflected here. And yeah, Fern's basically a badass. Like, she just fucks shit up. Lugna's idea here next is to force her into a battle of attrition where she's going to wear down her mana, and it looks like that isn't going to work. I'm going to run out of barriers first. So we now know that Lugna's in trouble. He's on the back foot. He yells down to Linny to finish her fight quickly so that she may assist, right? And then it becomes a 2v1 and way more manageable. So now the whole plot of the episode and the whole stakes here hinges on Stark being a badass, right? Hinges on Stark not giving up and continuing to persevere. And he does more than that. He actually defeats her. I think this is fantastic writing, right? Now I really supremely care about this next 5 minutes, right? This next 5 minutes is decisive in this battle because we know that it's almost like a chess game, right? We've got him in check right now. There's only one way out, and this is it. So literally the whole entire battle hinges on this moment. And Stark initially here, I think he was trying to wait it out. He was just trying to like play defensively. But yeah, nah, she like cheats and like betrays momentum like that. Another indicator that she's not hitting with the strength that she should. If she was, then she probably would have fucking chopped his head off. Like, if you're swinging down like that with a lot of strength, like think about using an axe in real life to like cut some wood or something, right? You can't just turn it and swing it that way. I don't care how powerful you are, you can't do it. So, like, her being able to do this is an indicator that she doesn't have a lot of strength behind her blows. Linny gives an explanation to her power here. So basically, she's really good at reading mana. I do not know what the ball is about. I still don't know. We've never seen her really throw it, except for like once maybe. But she reads mana. She can memorize the flow of mana inside a person when they move, hence I can basically copy techniques. As we see here, she has a fucking stand. This may have been the same knight from before maybe as well. And yeah, I can use the sword technique that he uses because I memorized his flow. But there has to be some kind of disadvantage here somewhere, right? Even though the animation here is like really cool again. Like, look at that. And then this turn here, sick. And yeah, it turns out she memorized Aizen's technique from probably way back when. Like, here's like a little Linny against that tree. She's like, oh yeah, that seems pretty cool. She's always got a very similar design to, remember that one demon girl from the flashback? Anyway, I digress. But it's kind of like somebody that learned Aizen's techniques through trial and error and all that kind of stuff, and a cheap imitation. That's kind of what we're seeing right now, almost a mirror match. And Stark thinks to himself that he can't win the fight, and he lands flat on his face. Like, if I'm fighting somebody that's as strong as my master, right? I can't beat that, she's just better. And another flashback, very similar to the one that Fern had before. So Stark's thinking, have I really fallen here? He thinks back on an important lesson from Aizen. So Aizen's essentially like beats him up, like they're training, he wins. How can I ever defeat you? You won't. But you got back up, and that's the important part, right? I'll teach you the technique to keep beating powerful opponents. Keep getting back up and hitting them. Good advice. For warriors, it's whoever is left standing. Stark is still standing despite this all, and then he remembers the whole strength idea. Master's blows were heavier, and if I've withstood them in training, then, you know, this is like training paying off the episode, right? For both Fern and Stark alike. Again, that faith that Frieren had in these two that they would succeed here. It's all paying off. Again, every member of the story has something to do. And we get this fantastic set piece where these two are finally giving it like their all again, right? This is the final climactic scene, and we have almost fireworks going off in the background. And that's above is fucking Lugna and Fern fighting, of course, not actual fireworks. So using this knowledge that he acquired, right, that being Stark, that her blows aren't very heavy, he's going to take a hit on the torso, right, where she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to lob him in too. That may be how the technique works for Aizen, but it's not how it works for you. So he's going to take that technique and create an opening for himself. Yeah, look at that. It doesn't like slice clean through him. Yeah, I don't know what lightning strike is. I wanted to talk about that as well. So like he's got his axe up here, and then it says lightning strike, and then all the way through here once again, like down. Did he swing the axe? Thoughts? Thoughts, gamers? Did he swing the axe? Or was it fucking divine intervention? I do not know. Either way, Linny dies. Rip. And then very quickly after that, Linny's death creates an opening for Fern to strike the heart of Lugna. Look at that. He's dead too. In a very gorgeously animated scene. And demon killing magic is the last scene we leave on before the ED. Yeah, Fern and Stark were successful in their endeavors here and have defeated the enemy as it stands right now. Now we move over to Frieren, where I believe there will be some flashback shenanigans with the old gang, and figuring out this whole aura business. Maybe some more about that one piece of armor with the cross and the wings, because that one was focused on as well. So, or maybe that's just like another different Graf Granite situation, like it's metaphorically like you've killed other humans that were important to other humans, so I need to, you know, give you revenge here, defeat you. But yeah, I guess I'm just going to watch the episode now, so there's no reason to stand on ceremony in that regard. I'm just going to go through and do that. But this was very good. I think I'll say that again. So yeah, I have episode 10 up there ready to go in a very bright room now that I'm looking at my OBS again, so, oh no. Yeah, the sun's fucking terrible. I hate Australia. Anyway, 24 minutes and 30 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly. Same subs, same picture-in-picture, all that jazz, and we're going to jump in to see the conclusion of our little mini arc here. And yeah, just going to give it a 3, 2, 1 accordingly. Radio? 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, landscape. Yeah, the forest is giving me phlegm vibes. I was correct. Flamme. What's unfair? I certainly don't. Just cheat harder. Just become a murdering machine. Okay, well, that's a nice insight into the basis of Frieren's hatred for demons. Really is a very bright show, isn't it? I'm getting new blinds soon, by the way, so hopefully the sun won't be as much of a thing. Because there's quite a gap between the window and the blind there, as I'm sure you can see. And I've already got it like kind of tucked in to prevent even more sun. Don't get me wrong, the sun's nice sometimes. It's just normally I'm recording in the mornings now, so you know how it be. Was it last week I was complaining about it being like hot as shit? That sounds like something I would have did last week. It's still very hot. It's going to continue to be hot for at least a few more months. Unfortunate. Interesting note about like evil Frieren in the opening there, right? Got a very similar like dress on that she just had on in that flashback. Wondering if that's some indicator that that person may have some ancient origins. Yeah, I think he's dead, guys. How are you alive? The heart got destroyed. Double tap. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, let's make her not engage directly. Yeah, just cheat harder. I remember. Dunno. It's probably some kind of technique there. Now that you figure it out, you must die. Shut up, bitch. Zoltrak. Kill him. I love this cheat harder arc. Yo. They're so right, though. Oh, they killed a bunch of elves. That's interesting in context now, too. Hello, one demon. Thoughts? Oh, this is even further before. Oh, this is really cool. It's a pretty good feeling. Yeah, there's something with the mana going on. I'm not quite sure. It's not about mana count. It's how you use it. Okay, you've been abducted now. Oh. Oh. Okay. Are you gonna do something about it? Phlegm? Who the fuck is this? Why do they want to kill the elves? Why? Oh my god. She fucking nuked them? Thoughts? Oh yeah. I think you got him. Fuck. Gotcha. She has way less mana than Aura. No, she doesn't. Calm down. I thought it was going to be some recycling thing or something. Head in the books, huh? Then go do that. I see. She's literally putting a limiter on herself. I don't know, forever. The smile on her face is so funny. Oh, she's smiling because she knew that as well. She knew that our friends won.
Mm-hmm.
Because of her tremendous amount of overconfidence. Yeah, she's pretty strong. Look how big her aura is. I've lived longer, though. Oh, nor can they's interesting, too. Hmm. They can't. Yeah. Whoever's the strongest leads. And what's the best way to tell who's the strongest? Dude, that's just God. Yeah. So they're a bunch of tryhards. I mean, yeah. I love that she's passed this on to Fern, too. That's just cool. And we've already seen it play out in real time during episode 9. I've only had a few fucking decades to, practice. Oh, same line. Fun. I need someone else to teach you the rest. Kinda. Okay. You have a flower thing going on. Oh. That one that she was using as well. Way back in the day.
Con, lay that music on a bit thicker. I love that shit. Well, Himmel built statues of me everywhere. Oh, and Till. Gotcha. There she is, planting the flowers. Okay. Hello, demon dogs. She really is just vibing. I mean, I agree. Oh, dude, it's Frieren town. Did they just, like, find her? Stop lying. Mmm. Oh, my master said that. Oh no, I said that to my master. Alright, get fucked up. Let it expand. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You didn't watch the episode I just watched. Did you ever think about why? It's gonna drop down, I think. Time to cheat. It's cheating time. It's cheating time. What do you mean starting? Gotcha, bitch. Nah, I've like literally been doing it forever.
just to troll you. Yep. I did it just to spite you and your kind. I've lived longer, bro. Yeah. Look at that. It's as big as the screen. I took the limiter off my power level, and now you're fucked. I like how you should like slowly release this so the scale would, yeah. Indeed. Not kill yourself. No way. That's pretty fucked up. Make it quick, please. They don't make. Okay, alright, good. Another great first person shot, too. Alright. I didn't expect kill yourself. I didn't expect that to happen. So that was a funny episode. I think it was a little bit weirdly paced, where I kind of figured out what was going on, like here. I was like, oh, I see exactly what we're doing here. Okay, cool. I do like the insight into Frieren's backstory, right? You could have probably predicted it, right? She's got this thing against demons. There's probably something in her backstory backing that up. And yeah, you really have to pay attention to the order and the timeline of this episode, I think. Which is pretty easy to figure out once you get it. So what was all that stuff about the scale and like having like a person's will overtake it as well? I was expecting Stark to play into that somewhat. Unless that was broadly just a thing to talk to Granite's son, which could have happened, sure. But yeah, I mean, another really good episode. This one was more informative about Frieren than I thought it would be. Like the party stumbling up upon her and Himmel saying it's just a hunch. That was a great moment. Backstory stuff. I wonder what we'll do next. Give me a title, please. Sure. Winter is coming indeed, apparently. And we're going to dive into a little bit of analysis on episode 10. And we're back. Episode 10 in the bag. Very good still. I do have my misgivings about the structure of the episode. I think it's very easy to figure out what's going on very quickly. Again, I don't know how you fix it, so it's probably not much of a criticism there. I think maybe you move a few things around so it's not as predictable until maybe here, but I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I just thought it was quite predictable once we got to like, oh yeah, Flem's hiding her, mana. So Frieren's probably doing the same thing, and Fern's probably doing the same thing. The reasons behind it being to deceive demons the same way that demons deceive humans through talking. That's a nice closed loop on that story concept, I will say. I really do like that. If they're going to cheat, we're going to cheat harder, right? We're going to deceive. I deceived you. It wasn't what it seemed. And because so much of... okay, this is fun too. So much of demon culture, from what they explain, is based on who's the strongest, right? Because it's a very tangible thing that you can see. You can see the mana level. You can see how strong they are. You put the strongest at the top because they can destroy you, right? Makes sense to me, at least, right? Humans, in that same way, use talking and that kind of stuff and explaining status and all these other kind of things, right? The great orators of our time should be elected leaders and that kind of thing, right? We use talking to get ahead in our society, right? So kind of both subverting talking and mana levels for both humans and demons respectively is a pretty clever technique. I really do like that. It kind of talks to the inherent weakness of both, right? And using the hubris of demons against them in a pretty cool way. It's pulled off really, really well. I love the build-up of the idea of mana being this aura, right? And aura being the name of one of the characters. And eventually getting to Frieren's aura, which is just fucking massive. It's one of the most massive things that we've seen so far. So yeah, she's been hiding her power level and all that kind of jazz. I guess the other interesting parts here are getting some insight into Frieren's backstory, what seems to be an origin with Flam playing out at least somewhat similarly to Frieren's with Fern. I think so, right? This kind of character that is or has nothing, right? Has her old life burned away behind her, and then is taking on this new life through this love of magic, right? I do not know how much Frieren had lived before that point. It's still unclear. But that seemed like a hometown. It seemed like an elven settlement, and the demons were after the elves for some reason. Unsure about that as well. Put a pin in it. And then, of course, the origins of Frieren with Himmel's crew and that whole adventure band, right? And Himmel just having this hunch that she may be very good, and kind of Frieren having this hunch initially that that Flam may be very strong. Just mirrors each other. It's good plot writing. Almost seeing through that disguise, seeing through to the real her is kind of the concept there. But yeah, I better get a wriggle on and actually start rewatching this thing, otherwise we'll never get anywhere. But yeah, I mean, good episode. I wish the reveals were stronger towards the second half. It kind of dragged a little in the middle as a result. But other than that, 2 thumbs up. Still really enjoying the show. Probably taking 9 over 10 because 9 was just pop-off moments after pop-off moments, where this one kind of just left it till the end. It did have a pretty good ending, though, telling her to kill herself, like literally. Is she me on an internet forum circa fucking 6 years ago? Maybe. Even starting here, some nice, really subtle stuff. So Frieren calling Flam, and then her reinforcing that she's master, right? Just some, rambunctious student stuff that we don't really get to see this, like Frieren getting humbled very often. It's pretty cool. So we start off, do you remember Basalt's last words? Basalt being the guy that attacked their village. Very cool. She didn't remember his last words because words are used to deceive. So his last words and those kind of last words would be said with some kind of intention and that kind of thing. His kind clearly just don't care. So it wasn't intended to deceive, so he didn't speak. Very individualistic, doesn't want anybody to know that he's dying. Very interesting detail in retrospect now.
It's actually extremely interesting in context with Aura's death. So she definitely knew that she was dying and chose to speak. There was fear there. There was like an actual emotion to it. It wasn't as like clinical as I would have thought it would have been. Interesting. Like, yeah, like please don't do this type energy from Aura. Wanting to still preserve life in that similar way. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what to make of it, but I'm sure somebody has something to say on it. I'm sure.
Flam basically puts down the basics of what we know about demons from this arc. They deceive humans with speech. They don't play fair. So again, we play unfair. That's how this works. So yeah, that's our lead into the episode. Cheat harder. If they cheat, cheat harder. Building upon this concept, we have the death of Lugna, who holds some level of confidence over Frieren escaping, or not escaping, right? He thinks Frieren's going to get defeated. He saw Frieren earlier, immediately read her mana levels and went, oh yeah, I mean, she's not that strong. Aura's got her easy, lulling him into the sense of confidence. He thought he had the upper hand the entire time, right? So upon the minute that Lugna and the gang saw Frieren and the gang, he's like, they're not that strong. And that deception carried all the way through to this moment. That's kind of poetic, right? Especially after these demons use these words through various kind of skits and stuff through this arc to deceive. So previously, we don't get to see it, but the heroes and that kind of thing, they kind of overwhelmed Aura and pushed her back, right? It wasn't a direct competition, and almost it's Frieren keeping up this lie. She knew that they had the upper hand without, Aura and the stupid thing, so she didn't have to reveal all her cards, right? And because of that, she's able to pull off this moment now. Fern rebuts here, right? Frieren always finds some kind of trick to get out of these situations. She knows what she's doing. She would never attack head on if she didn't have a good idea here. And he's like, nonsense. How could this be? Why do I feel like something's wrong? This girl's mana is weak, and yet I was overwhelmed by the sheer number of her rapid attacks. How was she able to do that without exhausting her mana? And we're kind of left in the dark here, right? I understand now. Is that even possible? Do you have any pride as a mage? You're betraying magic by doing this. What you've done isn't fair. You're a disgrace to all mages. Shut up, bitch, Zoltrak. That's all I say to this. The line, you're a disgrace to mages, is interesting, right? Because so much of their magical culture is built upon just sheer numbers, right? Like, I've got bigger number than other person, so I win. And that just come crashing down for Lugna and eventually, or at the end of the episode, is very intriguing. I like that a lot. Equally as intriguing is this flashback. So some kind of conflict took place here. This is an elven village. I don't know why they're building houses into the hill, but why not? It's like they're hobbits. And we see Flam making her way through, seeing the aftermath. Like even poking her head into that building there and then looking away. Like something really bad happened here. We see one girl in the distance, and this is Basalt, right? Initially I was thinking, oh, okay, is this another demon girl situation? So yeah, this is a general of the Demon Lord's army. He must have led his forces here to destroy the village. And you're the one that killed him, even though you're nearly dead yourself. That being Frieren, showing a lot of, potential as a mage at this point. Specifically, look at her fucking, aura. It's amazing, right? It's very wide. It means it's very strong. It's probably stronger than the 3 demons that pursue her later on. So yeah, with this amount of mana, she engaged the demons directly, and it was a shit fight. Frieren almost lost here. Instead, we have here Flem, run, hide, take your enemies by surprise, cheat in the same way that they cheat you. And here's the line, right? Flem says, I'll never understand strong mages. It's like, but you're very strong. You should understand how I feel, right? You're one of the strongest mages I've ever seen. It's the exact same thing, right? How did you realize that? Even though the aura's here, my aura's way smaller than hers. How does she know? Just a hunch. The same reason why Himmel takes her in during that flashback later in the episode. And essentially here, Flem, abducts her. Even though there's nobody left in the village, it's fine, right? If I'd been in your shoes, I wouldn't have hesitated to run, is interesting as well. Very, very against what Frieren has going on right now. I don't think she would ever leave her friends like that, right? Preserved herself over others. Been a little bit more selfless there. I don't know. I'd like to think that she wouldn't do this. Yeah, you have potential, you're going to be my apprentice. This feels very similar to the Frieren Fern stuff that happened earlier in the show. And it's very interesting that Haita had to almost deceive Frieren into taking the apprentice as well. That's kind of funny. Deception's a kind of strong theme in this show that I haven't really realized up till now. But I digress. There's some great eye movement on Flam when she realizes they're being pursued, and out comes this guy. He looks pretty fucking evil. There's actually 3 of them, right? They concealed their mana up until the moment they struck, right? And now we can see their mana, and we can see how strong they are. So they hid their mana until they were out here. Isn't that cunning? Isn't that, trickery from them? But every last one of them has a ridiculous level of pride when it comes to magic. Kill all the elves. That were the Demon King's orders. Or those were the Demon King's orders, excuse me. Interesting. Ordering some kind of genocide on specifically elves? Why is that? Why is that a thing? I don't know. I do not know. Let's bring up this idea of genius again as well, right? So we have Flam here, who's this absolute prodigy. She's a human, and she has this level of mana right now, that she's able to put a fucking hole in the side of this hill, right? And kill all 3 of these people. And she hit her power level to be able to do that, right? Is Frieren really that level of genius, or did she just copy some amount of the genius of Flam, right? By hiding the magic level and all that kind of thing. The way I understand it is she's been working very hard on this for thousand years, did she say? That doesn't scream genius to me, that screams hard work. I don't know. Is there something in that, right? I out hard worked the demons and then still use that to deceive them, to get one up over on them. That they've been studying for, since the day they were born, basically, to learn these spells and all that kind of stuff. Well, I have too. I just hide it. I just deceive. In that way, is Frieren really the genius that everyone thinks she is? I do not know. I do not know. Maybe we'll talk about it more in the future. Yeah, I mean, there's a really cool animation there on the hill exploding too. Look at that. She just fucking murdered them. Pretty cool. And here we get to see the aura of Flam, right? I'm finally not hiding it anymore. I finally let it expand to this point, just as I shot, and yeah, That's right, I've been hiding my shit. And here's the very important line, right? Deceive and kill your enemies by allowing them to miscalculate your strength. Great. My problem's that's at 8 minutes 50, and that's what we do here. So through here's just kind of Frieren backstory, which is not unwelcome. It's just paced a little bit weird. Either way, there's some cool stuff here linking into previous episodes, like Frieren hitting the books now upon seeing this. Like, this was her moment, similar to Fern, when she realized she had to hit the books. If this is how Flem got that good, then I need to get that good as well. This part's kind of interesting. We're walking with Flem. We explain how much we hate demons, but we love magic, right? They both love magic. And we bring back Lugna's line, right? Like, you're a disgrace as a mage, or whatever he said, right? Like, making a mockery of the system of magic by hiding my level like this. And to that I say, this is a necessary evil. This is what they're going to do. Like, this is how we're going to defeat the demons, so it has a means to an end. We see how difficult it is to maintain this level for a strong period of time, right? Like, whilst you're hiding it, will build your base mana level, right? But because I've been doing it my whole life, it becomes very easy. So yeah, like, I've been suppressing it my whole life, so I've become better at it over time, is the basic point here. Spend your entire life fooling demons. I love this cut here from the smiling Flam, right? To the smiling Frieren. Just a small smile, right? She's extremely confident she's going to win this fight, but doesn't want to show it. She's also getting probably news, however Aura got it, she's getting it as well, that Lugna died and the other two were successful. So, hooray, my friends won. And Aura is supremely confident here, of course. At least I could take you out here by using my thing. You've expended so much mana, was it wise to do such a thing? This stuff's a bit of a pace killer as well, explaining how this works again. I know most people wouldn't have seen these two episodes back to back. They're kind of a weekly thing, where this would be handy, but for me it's a little bit ancillary. And this is Aura's Aura. So yeah, this is the amount of magic that she has. She spent most of her life training, 500 years. She's going to be pretty good. Look at the difference. Oh my god. Get absolutely mogged. Another, weird pacing thing, right? So Frieren says there, demons can't hide their mana level, right? And we asked that exact same question to Flam, like, earlier in the episode. I know it happened early in the timeline, but do we need that information twice? Like, right here. Like, we just learned the same thing twice. But this goes into more of the themes that I was talking about how demon society differs from human society and how we're using the talking and mana level as a kind of like value metric in that way. Yeah, what does a society need to function? Order, hierarchy. We decide ours through words and wealth and deeds and all that kind of stuff, where demon society, it's come from monster society, which is probably very animalistic, probably very like whoever's the strongest leads, like that kind of vibe, right? Like it would happen in nature, which again we use to our advantage through the whole mana manipulation technique. Even using clothes to dictate such a thing, right? It's because demons could see mana level, that dictates status. Humans can't see such a thing in general society, so we use clothes as a similar thing. Essentially, Frieren is wearing rags right now, and Aura's in a really nice suit. And then Frieren rips off the rags, and it turns out she's wearing fucking Gucci and fucking Givenchy head to toe, and absolutely destroys her. That's kind of, again, one of the metaphors we're using here. This is another great idea here as well. So think of that same noble we saw before. A noble can strip themselves of their clothes and go out and be incognito for a bit, right? But it'd be like that same noble, like debasing themselves entirely, abandoning status and wealth entirely if they were to do it forever. That would never happen. Why would you do that? So demons aren't going to do that either. Because of these reasons, demons aren't able to control their mana levels. Frieren, aren't you happy you're not a demon? You're right, I wouldn't be able to deceive them if I were. And then we start skipping through here a little bit. Frieren's been hiding her mana for 3 years at that point from that conversation we just had. And then we skip a long time in the future. I'm going to say that Flam here is at least 20, 25 years older, probably, and still asking Frieren, hey, do you love magic? That same question that Frieren asked Fern in that initial episode. And somewhat, I suppose, still that like half answer, same one that Fern gave. Long ago you used to say you love magic, and now you're so-so on it. So-so. But Flam laments the fact that she was only ever able to teach Frieren magic for revenge, magic for fighting, magic for violence. Does Flem regret it? Not really. Considering the length of your life, you may even be strong enough to fight the Demon King one day. However, Frieren, I have one request. I want you to plant flowers around my grave. That doesn't seem like you is a great line as well, because I haven't shown you this side of me. It turns out my favorite spell this entire time creates a field of beautiful flowers, linking into other moments in the show where there's been a field of beautiful flowers. Having flowers for Himmel, right? And the whole blue flower idea there, right? And her even in that same episode using that spell to entertain the party, right? Well, here's a cute party trick I learned. And the connection there. So remember also the scene with Himmel and Frieren sitting in the flower field. Doesn't it have so much more weight to it now? Pretty cool writing stuff. I like that. This spell in itself being the basis for Flam's love of magic and her moving into that potential and all that kind of stuff. And her last request being to like basically use this spell to create a field of flowers around me when I die. And Frieren's like, yeah, teach me the spell. I want to learn that spell. And again, this spins off to Frieren's desire to learn more and more magic because hey, magic makes people happy. There's this whole other side to magic that isn't the violence stuff, and Himmel later in the story has helped me to realize that, but Flam planted the seed. You must never seek to leave your name in history, live in obscurity. You won't leave your name in history until you defeat the Demon King. That's very prophetic, huh? She's very good at that. And yeah, there's the field of flowers, one of her favorite flowers, that white flower probably. And then yeah, we get our trademark Frieren Beyond Journey's End musical montage through here, showing what she's done in her life, up to the point at which the rest of the crew discover her, all through the seasons, all through various conflicts, even building a house for herself here and continuing to study, always being surrounded by nature as well, even if my head's covering it for the moment. How do I do this again? It's one of those. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know how to hide my camera and I stopped my recording, which is kind of funny. I hope it's fine. It should be fine. Either way, there's some fucking beavers or something behind her. I don't know. We see this town that she's living next to grow and grow and grow through time as well. Almost looks similar to the town they're in now. And that whole time hiding the mana. Look at it. It's still very contained. Until Himmel hears that there's a long-lived mage in these woods. Are you her? I've lived a long time, but I haven't done much with my life. She's keeping up this facade that Flam told her to keep up, right? No one will know about me until I defeat the Demon King. Haita being the one, I guess, magician in the group, right? He's like, hey, she's only got 1/5 of my mana, she's not that strong, right? And then, yeah, this is great. She thinks he's irritating, like, immediately, which is true. And like, leave, you didn't have business with a mediocre mage, right? I'm pretty sure she was planning to solo the fucking Demon King. She was just gonna walk up and defeat him. But Himmel says you're the strongest mage I've ever met. What makes you say that? Just a feeling. The same thing that Frieren said earlier. And then we get this flash through of their whole journey, right? Which we'll pause on various moments in. Can I frame by frame this? Yeah, a little bit. Off to the castle. There was some stuff earlier too, I thought. Yeah, look at this. They fought a dragon. That's cool. They fought this guy. I remember this guy. He had a name. Oh my god, it was literally in the comments. Qual. Yes, I got it. Okay, good. Yeah, and then this is Aura. Yeah, they just got overwhelmed. It's just like, sick 'em, boys. And then she's dropped the fucking thing. She looks younger too, noticeably. That's fun. And then, yeah, off to the Demon Castle, defeating the Demon King and all that jazz. Very cool. Thank you, Next Frame feature on VLC. And then we get to hear basically the whole episode's building up to this moment. It is the reveal. I love the way that Frieren does it. It's almost sadistic. She slowly increases her mana to the point where the scale just tips, right? And yeah, basically Aura falls for exactly what we think she's going to fall for, because she's a demon. And they have a specific culture, and she's not going to betray that culture. Your mana tells me everything I need to know. I'm literally reading the cover of the book and making judgment. I can see it quite clearly. You're an exceptional mage, but your mana itself is unimpressive. So I'm going to mana check you. Also, later on we expand this, right? You haven't been hiding your mana, which I know you can do, because there would be some variations there, right? There would be some mana leakage, maybe. You kind of had more than 100 years or so of training with this level of mana. So yeah, some great animation on Aura grabbing the sword here. She is supremely confident that she's going to be able to tell Frieren to kneel and be able to behead her. Because she's got the scales right now. She's like, oh yeah, your whole soul's in here, my whole soul's in here. It's tipping this way. I must have full control. Look at the smugness. We just love to see that smugness wiped away. Yeah, here it starts. The scale starts to tip in a way that she doesn't want it to tip. And yeah, the hubris of demons, right? I would have actually been in trouble if you just used the army behind you to kill me. I'm so glad you're confident in your own mana. Surely you figured it out by now. I've been suppressing my mana. That's impossible. That wouldn't have escaped my notice. Au contraire, I've literally been doing this for like thousands of years. Yeah, good thing Flam told me to keep doing this for most of my life. This state has become natural to me. Are you stupid? Why would you do something so pointless? It isn't pointless. It's just to fucking spite you. Aura here starts to panic, says that she's a demon that's lived for, 500 years. How impressive is that, right? I've got the biggest mana collection out here. Aura, the person standing before you, is a mage who's lived over 1,000 years. And the aura of Frieren here is expanded out, her mage aura, her mana aura, and talk about a fucking mogging. Get destroyed. And yeah, as soon as this expands, the whole scale twists. I'm guessing this eye stuff is her getting controlled. And this is the thesis statement of the episode, basically. Just as demons deceive humankind with their words, deceive demons with mana. And then Aura. Kill yourself. Now, there's a great moment. How fucking brutal is this shit? Dropping the scales. And yeah, I'm gonna bring up the sword to my own neck, and I love how it cuts through the hair, and then the blood starts to. It's so fucked up. That's sadistic as fuck. Look how fucked up this is. I kind of can't even watch it again. That's crazy. I mean, I kind of wish we saw her do some more like wrong stuff. She was kind of just smug, and then it's like, oh yeah, kill yourself. Yeah, I kind of wish she reigned some terror or something. I'd feel better about this. But again, they're evil, they're demons. Get over it. Another demon dead. And yeah, I love this first person shot as we track the head, fall to the ground, the last moments of Aura's life, seeing Frieren walk away into the distance before the ED starts. So yeah, that episode was great. I really love the ending. I think it has a few pacing issues here and there. You would notice I skipped through a lot of that middle section because I think the ideas are said more than once. But it's fine. It's pretty good still. It's it was a satisfying episode. And yeah, we won. It was a well-executed longer arc from Frieren as a show, which I really appreciate, right? We've shown we could do small emotional stories. Now we've got a longer one with more things going on, and they've pulled that off as well, even if I think a lot of it peaked in episode 9. But yeah, 2 thumbs up. Frieren continues to be fantastic. People are only continuing to rave about this show. Again, I know that Mal isn't the be-all end-all, but if I click top anime right now, just because I have the tab open, it says Sousou no Frieren, top of the list, and it has a 9.13. What? I know, again, recency bias is crazy on Mal. Like, there was a point in time that the 3rd season of Kaguya was number 1. There was a point in time where Fruits Basket is number 1. I guess I could do this as well so you guys can see. But yeah, not anymore. They've kind of drifted back to the pack, and you kind of see the stalwart stay, right? But yeah, I mean, the show only gets better. I've noticed that Mal has gone up and up and up. So people are increasingly passionate about this show as it continues. So more good stuff on the horizon, most probably. And yeah, again, really well executed longer arc from the show. Interesting concepts, building upon Frieren's past, making previous episodes better by proxy. Everyone has something to do. The music's great. It's very, very well animated. There's lots and lots of things that you could say good about this show. But yeah, we're basically going to call it here. Next week, I don't know what we're looking at. Probably another 1 episode, unless somebody tells me it's a arc for some reason. But yeah, look forward to that then. I guess some chill stuff quickly. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord, love Discord, Discord, vote in the poll on Discord. It will close relatively soon by the time this video is up, so look out for it. But yeah, this was great, and looking forward to more Frieren next week. Just signing off. Later, cheerio, everything else in between as my lighting goes fucking nuts.